So it's been a while since my last Chainsaw Man video. In fact, it's been a while since I've done a video. So let's hop right back into Chainsaw Man. Hi there, my name is Momo and, well, honestly after this point, we've seen some of Deji's powers, the relationships he wishes he could have with Makima, as well as having to have Aki as a new partner in this new field of work he was forced into. And, well, this is when Chainsaw Man for me starts to take off in terms of plot, since we learn a lot more about Aki's backstory, power, Makima, Aki's mentor, and as well as kind of Makima's end goal, and are introduced to new types of devils that now want to hunt down Deji for his heart. A lot of which happens after chapter 10, so I understand if some of y'all might not be totally fine with reading a series like Chainsaw Man for too long without a lot of not happening, well, happening. I know, it sounds like a stretch to say 10 chapters is a lot for people to read, but kind of like how my Jujutsu Kaisen video went, people thought I was wrong for saying Jujutsu Kaisen was a slow burn, when it really is to me, while to others they thought it was like fast and exciting, and I mean, to each their own, but it's just one of those things where the beginning of Chainsaw Man can be a drudge if you don't appreciate what happens later on and can kind of see the beginning as just like, okay, this is the foundation for everything that will happen later on. Especially after chapter 10, because I was worried that it was going to fall into this trope of weekly villain week by week. Deji was going to take care of them, solve the problem, and whatever. It's just going to end up being that, and thankfully, it doesn't. Surprisingly, Chainsaw Man goes from 0 to 100 as soon as chapter 15 ends, where we meet the Katana Man Devil, who not only manages to mess up Aki, his mentor, but manages to incapacitate Deji and kidnaps him. Katana Man at this point is the first true threat to Deji and crew. While the idea that there could have been more devil men like Deji around was possible, seeing how this one is related to the old man that kept Deji in debt to the Mafia and got him killed in the first place, to even become Chainsaw Man, that just makes the stakes way, way higher. So now we finally have someone who can fight Deji on his own terms. But, you know, like always, Deji doesn't usually go down without a fight. After what happens at this point is Deji gets knocked out. Several devil hunters are getting killed by this unknown group who managed to assassinate Makima as she is on a business trip, but then she manages to resurrect herself, kills the people who killed her, and then has a summoning ceremony with a devil that we do not know who it is. She has a contract with them, manages to stop the kidnapping from a city away, and then she just kind of just goes, I'm tired, I'm just gonna go now. At this point, Chainsaw Man just took a complete left. Like, now we have the reveal that Makima is potentially immortal, shows that she is not just some regular person, but in fact might be one of the strongest forces in the series, and kind of reins in this whole power level nonsense that a lot of people associate with shonen series. I mean, if you think about it, at this point it was Deji, Katana Man, Power, Aki, and then at the bottom, or at least maybe she wasn't even on the chart for most people, was Makima. Now, she's just toppling over everyone. In just a couple chapters, she's manages to reduce people to literal piles of nothing but blood. And like I said earlier, she just says, I'm tired. I'm good. I'm going to take the day off now. I mean, it's kind of insane. Makima is literally ridiculous, man. But for how Chainsaw Man goes, this isn't even the most surprising part. It's what happens afterwards. It's the fact that after all of this, when Katana Man gets away, Aki is now reeling in the hospital over his dead mentor who sacrificed herself to help him, and Power becoming Deji's new partner while Aki is out of commission. Deji himself starts to question his own morality, emotions, and sense of self. Deji, to this point, didn't really question whether or not him being a devil changed him emotionally, just the way he looked and operated. But now, due to the circumstances that happened, Deji is now questioning what he is feeling, or rather lack of feeling. He feels it's pretty awkward for him to walk in on Aki crying, but doesn't feel the pain that Aki is feeling right now, or at least isn't on the same level as Aki. And yet the same can go for the level of sorrow that Aki is going through. Deji just feels pretty indifferent towards the events that just happened. But then he starts to question himself on whether or not He would feel sad if anybody else around him would die, questioning whether or not Aki's mentor death mattered to him, questioning if Power's death is going to matter to him, and then ultimately just kind of thinks, what would happen if Makima were to die? Now, mind you, at this point, he has no idea that she has already been killed and resurrected herself. So he's already out of the loop in terms of the overall plot of what she has to offer. And then Deji himself starts to question whether or not he himself has changed since everything has happened. Only, well, unsurprisingly, to snap out of it and immediately says, you know what, I'm not going to think about it. I'm good. I'm going to be 100% real with this. This moment, for a lot of people who probably already know, is going to be very, very, very important later on in the series. Just please, for the love of God, do not forget this. For whatever goofy, wacky shit happens in Chainsaw Man from this point onward, do not forget the morality Deji is feeling here and the choices that have led him here. And on that note, we're going to wrap up. So far, nothing but good things have been happening that have been keeping me week by week coming back to read Chainsaw Man. After this point, I think we only have 3 more arcs to cover before we are fully caught up on everything that has been going on in this series, which more will definitely be coming in the future, more videos. And after which, I'm going to be talking about the world of Chainsaw Man, talking about Fujimoto and what he has said about the series, and several interviews that he's done since its inception, and as well as talk about his other works like Fire Punch, which recently I just finished it. It's manga. It's definitely a read, so that's something that I'm gonna have to really kind of process and really get out there for y'all. So if you are interested in the content like that, please make sure you stay subscribed to this channel, and well, at the end of the day, I hope y'all have a damn good one. Bye.